The unwelcome entity. Like other couples living in the city, Julia and Herman reside in a high-rise 4-room apartment. They have been married for a few years and purchased the house with the intention to start a family. Herman worked in shifts and Julia was in between careers. As there were 3 bedrooms in the apartment, they loved to room hop and sleep in different rooms every night. They felt that if each room were to get a sleep-in treatment, it would not have that empty or vacant vibe. Things were moving along great at first, but Julia could not shake the uneasy feeling each time they were to sleep in one of the rooms. The rooms were located along a short corridor of the living room. On the left wall was the first guest room, then the second guest room that faced the guest bathroom on the opposite wall. At the end of the corridor is the master bedroom. The second bedroom that faced the guest bathroom was the one that gave Julia the creep every time they decided to sleep there for the night. One night, Julia awoke from an early slumber in time to watch Herman preparing himself for the next shift. She did not think much about it since she knew that his job required him to come in at odd hours. They were in the second bedroom that night, and Julia was too tired from a busy day to think much about it. She watched Herman searching for his socks, coming in and out of the room, looking for his items, packing his things in a sling bag.
On the way back in the morning, can you buy me that nice bread from the bakery opposite your workplace?
Julia inquired.
Why? There is still bread in the kitchen,
Came Herman's reply.
But that bakery makes nice soft bread. I like the one you bought for me last week, the one with the raisins.
She pleaded.
Okay. Then how many do you need? 1, 2, a dozen?
Teased Herman.
2 is enough, one for you and one for me. If you buy a dozen, you eat them all yourself.
She made a face and fell back on the bed, turning her back towards him and facing the wall, pulling the covers over her in the process. She heard him laugh as he said,
I'm going off now. Pray hard that the bakery decided not to close the shop tomorrow.
He continued, aware that he was purposely riling his wife to start protesting. She did not move, and he chuckled before picking up his bag and quietly stepping out of the house, locking the front door carefully behind him. Julia kept still. She was aware of Herman's teasing nature, but refused to show him her irritation. She heard the front door click, indicating that he had just left the house. She was about to pull down the covers when she felt a hand wrap around her. The same weight and feeling she felt when Herman used to do that same action on her. She froze. Her mind raced, trying to figure out if Herman had walked back in and hugged her by way of apologizing for his teasing. But she could have sworn she heard the front door click with his departure. She took a deep breath and pushed off the covers. There was no one behind her. She jumped off the bed and turned on the lights. Nothing. Without switching off the lights, she rushed into the master bedroom. Catching her breath, she tried to calm herself, insisting that it was just the heavy covers weighing down on her, refusing to think of anything dreadful. She did not tell Herman about the incident the next day, forgetting about it as soon as she saw the bread Herman had bought for her. There was nothing out of the ordinary in the next few weeks, even when she was alone for several nights after Herman left for his shift. One night, she was on the phone with a friend when something creepy happened again. They were having a wonderful conversation, and she was sitting comfortably on the living room sofa facing the corridor that led to the bedrooms.
I know, it was crazy, but the auntie just...
She stopped mid-sentence.
Ju, oi Ju, the auntie just what?
Her friend insisted at the other end of the line. Julia went deathly still. Her eyes focused on the doorframe of the second bedroom. A moment ago, a dark figure in the shape of her head was peeking through the doorway.
Nothing.
Julia replied.
Anyway, the auntie...
Julia continued, injecting a false chuckle into her sentence, trying to make light of the situation. A few moments later, the figure appeared again, disappearing when Julia blinked. This happened a few times until...
Oi! Do not disturb me! This is my house! Go away now! You are not welcome here!
Julia let out a series of expletives that would put a foul-mouthed youth to shame.
Julia, whatever is the matter with you?
Asked her friend from the other end of the line.
This thing is playing hide and seek in my house, and I'm not entertaining it.
Exclaimed Julia.
Look, go get your things and stay at your mom's for the night.
Advised her friend.
No, I'm staying. This is my house. Where should I go? That thing ought to go, not me.
Julia did not know how she could gather up enough courage to stand up against it. She just knew that she should defend her home and that she was angry by the constant teasing by the entity. Her friend sighed and ended the call, insisting that Julia called her the minute something went wrong. Julia assured her that she would be fine, and the two friends said their goodnights. She switched off the TV, turned on the nightlight along the corridor, and went straight into the master bedroom at the end of the corridor, all the while ignoring the urge to turn and look into the second bedroom. Nothing else happened that night, much to her relief. While there were odd incidents that occurred throughout their stay there, Julia and Herman did not make a huge deal out of it. They felt that it was their responsibility to protect their home. Whatever entity that happened to pass by would just have to move on. There is no way they are acknowledging its presence. What do you think? Who could it be that put its hands on Julia that night. Who is that black entity?